Have you seen this challenge online? It's called the Breaking My Heart Challenge. And people are posting pictures of their parents from back in the day. And they're like, oh, my mom used to break hearts back in the day. So I wanted to make one of those. So I'm digging through this box of pictures and I'm like, is this really like the best way to organize the family photos in giant boxes in the basement? I found a solution from our friends at LegacyBox. You're going to love LegacyBox. For a limited time only, you can visit legacybox.com/ratchet and save 50%. That's legacybox.com/ratchet to shop 50% off. This sale won't last long. Legacybox.com/ratchet.
Being a marketer's no sweat. You just have to manage dozens of channels, launch hundreds of campaigns, score thousands of leads, and okay, fine, it's a lot of sweat. Unless you have HubSpot's AI-powered marketing tools to help you do all that and more. Get started at HubSpot.com/marketers.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. From the co-director of Shrek and the visionary behind Toy Story comes Spellbound, a magical new animated adventure starring Rachel Zegler, John Lithgow, Jennifer Lewis, Nathan Lane, and Titus Burgess with Javier Bardem and Nicole Kidman. When a powerful spell turns her parents into monsters, Princess Elian must journey into the wild to reverse the curse before it's too late. Watch Spellbound only on Netflix November 22nd.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and those who don't identify as either, you are listening to Ratchet and Respectable. Oh my God. Okay, first, it's Friday, November 15th. It is 8 p.m. I'm still in Cape Town. I am 7 hours into the future. Usually on Fridays, or at least Thursday nights, I record the podcast, and in either Friday morning or Friday afternoon, I edit it. I've been doing much better with getting the pod in on time. Okay, today I made an exception. One, because Bestie is here. Two, Gladiator 2 was released in theaters here today. It doesn't come out in the States for another 7 days. Do you hear the energy in my voice? I am invigorated. Like I want to pick up a sword or like a rock or like my bare hands and just like fight to the death. It is one of the most violent movies I've ever seen. And you know, like I talk on here, like I love like a good like Netflix white boy shooting up shit type movie. No shooting because, you know, it's like ancient Rome, no guns yet, but they are violent. They are so violent. So much hand to hand combat. Like people just get punched the fuck in the face. Oh my God, it's so good. I love it. That said, as someone who really enjoys violent films, this is one of the most violent films I have ever seen. At several points in the film, I hollered, I shrieked, and maybe because I was invested in certain characters. I hollered, I shrieked, I yelped. At one point, I was sitting in the theater. Remember during COVID, Regina Hall and Kevin Hart had this little Zoom interaction, and he was like, "Who's a pretty girl?" And she's like, "I'm a pretty girl. Who's a pretty girl?" And then she had her hands like flopped over her head. I was sitting in the theater like that, stressed. Davita and I were talking about the movie right afterward, and Davita was like, I loved it. I could go back and watch it again. It was sold out. We really did think about going to see it like twice in one day. Davita was like, it was so great. I was like, you didn't feel at parts like the story was like a little disjointed or it was clunky, like the way they were trying to bring everything together. And Davita was like, nope, I thought it was great. There are moments where it's just like, it could have had like smoother lines. Overall, for the most part, it was a really great film. Denzel, we talked last week how he showed up on the red carpet and like his Target clothes, like he was like running errands. He had to pick up some bleach and he was like, shit, let me stop by this red carpet for my film real quick. There's so much Oscar buzz about Denzel in this film. And you know, it's Denzel. He's always going to give you a show. This is peak Denzel. I don't even know what to compare it to. It's like he's very Mount Vernon Denzel. There is no attempt at some sort of like ancient Rome accent or accent from any part of Africa that he may have been from. Everybody in this film is speaking in pure American accents. Okay. I don't know what to compare it to. It's giving me a bit of Shakespeare Denzel with a little bit of Frank Lucas Denzel. It's not when he was the boxer. There's no Malcolm X Denzel here. It's just really good Denzel. I don't even know what else to compare it to. It's Oh, I want to give another illusion, but I think it might give too much away. So no, we're not going to do that. It's really good Denzel. He's walking around. Okay, remember the Woman King and John Boyega was the actual King, and he was walking around in like the flowing African robes and like the fine silks and fabrics and such. Okay, so Denzel is giving you that much fine African fabrics and silks, well layered, jewel colors, flowing fabric. Denzel looks amazing. He looks like good money well spent. You know, that's like my favorite phrase, but I only say it when it actually properly applies to something. It absolutely properly applies to Denzel here. Trying to think what else I can say about this film without giving anything away. I will say this: carry yourself to the theater opening weekend to see this movie because there is something that happens that people are going to talk about. And if you have not seen the film, it will be a major spoiler. If you don't see it opening weekend, you're just going to have to avoid social media for the entire week until you see the film, unless you're okay with it being spoiled. I'll tell you this too. Remember in Game of Thrones, there was a battle. It's my favorite Game of Thrones battle where Jon Snow fights the Night King, the Ice King. The king with the dead king with the blue eyes. It's been a while since I watched Game of Thrones. I refuse to go back and watch it because the final season was so bad. Like I just feel like they didn't land the ending, so I don't enjoy the rest of the show. When I have gone back and watched it, I stop when you know who does you know what to the Ice King, Night King, Blue Eyed King in the fourth episode of the final season. So if you haven't seen it, I'm trying not to give it away. Even though it's been off for years, I probably should just be able to say it. But I'm trying to be decent about it. Okay. So my favorite battle scene is when Jon Snow goes and fights the Ice King, Night King, Blue Eyed King, and there's all these dead bodies everywhere. Jon and his whole crew are like tired as hell, and all these new bodies come from the Ice King side to fight Jon and them. And they're just like, oh, hell no. So they get on a boat to escape and they're in the middle of the river. Jon turns around and looks at the riverbank and the Ice King is standing there and he raises his hands up and all those people that Jon and them had just slaughtered and had just exhausted themselves, like they damn near killed themselves trying to fight that battle. All those bodies, even the people that Jon and them had lost from their side, the Night King raises them from the dead. So Jon's people that died in the army are now part of the Ice King's new army. The feeling that you had when the Ice King, Night King, Blue Eyed King put his arms up and all those bodies rose, and you were like, what the fuck am I watching? That is how the battle scenes are in this film. It's like, okay, in Boomerang, Eddie Murphy gets sad because old girl did him dirty. Actually, she did him like he did her. Robin, what's Robin's real name? I cannot remember Robin's real name in real life. And Gibbons, Robin Gibbons. Boom. Okay. Robin Gibbons does Eddie Murphy like Eddie Murphy does all the other women, and he gets sad and he can't do his job. So the art director was like, well, I could just do it. So he was like, fine, do what you want. So the art director has an unlimited budget and just does crazy shit, right? The battle scenes here are like whoever comes up with them, whoever coordinates them, whoever's over like the battle scenes, right? It's like someone just gave them pure creative control and an unlimited budget. And then they teamed up with the battle people that did Game of Thrones, except they brought in decent lighting because the last season of Game of Thrones, like you couldn't even see the battles, but okay. But with decent lighting, and they just ran amok. All the battle scenes are really gruesome and really brutal and really intense. The cinematography is amazing, and they go on for a really long time. And there's like, I feel like the film, I mean, there is technically a plot, but it feels like back-to-back battle scenes. Like there's war, and then there's in the Coliseum, and then there's like hand-to-hand combat, and then there's like more battle. Like it's wild. Like, do you hear my voice? I have an adrenaline rush, and I saw this 8 hours ago. Like, oh, it was so good. So good. You're gonna love it. You have to go see Denzel opening weekend to avoid the major spoiler that people are going to talk about. I'm warning you in advance. Like Davida and I usually agree on like most things. There's a winner and a loser. Davida and I were not rooting for the same person. And I was like, really? That's who you were rooting for? And she was like, you weren't? And I was like, nope. It would be much talked about. Oh my God, it was so good. I was reading up on the film afterward because you know me, when I like something, I have to like know everything about it. So we were trying to find out actually who did the wardrobe for Denzel because that was fine silks. and the draping was very Nigerian or possibly Mali. It could be a combination of both. But we waited in the theater while the credits rolled to see who it was. I didn't have my glasses on, so I could like barely see the words, but Davita said she didn't see it come up. So I was trying to find who did the wardrobe. And instead, I found this, actually several articles. There's much talk about a particular scene in the movie that was deleted. I'm reading this on page 6. The headline is Denzel Washington filmed gay kissing scene for Gladiator 2, but chicken filmmakers cut it. I wouldn't say it was a gay scene. It didn't read as gay to me. That's weird that they would call it a gay kissing scene. Let's see this article. It says Gladiator 2 nearly had it all. Epic battle scenes, heavy doses of nostalgia. Yeah, I think actually they overdid it with the nostalgia. Emotional monologues, yes, and even an unexpected gay kiss. It says Denzel Washington revealed in an interview with Gaiety. Is Gaiety a gay website? I've never heard of Gaiety. I'm clicking right now. Okay, I guess it is a gay website. It says Denzel Washington revealed that his kissing scene with another male actor was not included in the final edit of the movie. He says, quote, I actually kissed the man in the film, but they took it. They cut it. I think they got chicken. It says Washington, who plays a presumed bisexual Roman businessman. I mean, I don't care if the character is bisexual or not, but I just sat there and watched the whole film and I never got the sense that the character was bisexual. There's no other, I don't know, romantic, sexual charge, innuendo. Like he makes a joke at some point in the film about being sick of women, but I feel like heterosexual men who are married to women make jokes about being sick of women, sick of their wives even all the time. I didn't take that as him being bisexual. Denzel says, I kissed the guy full on the lips, and I guess they weren't ready for that. Okay, and then continues. It says the Oscar winner, 69, noted that it was not necessarily a romantic moment for the power-hungry arms dealer. He says it's Gladiator, it's the kiss of death. Scrolling down, it notes that the original Gladiator came out in 2000. Has it been that long? 24 years? I didn't realize that. Originally starred Russell Crowe. It was nominated for a whopping 12 Academy Awards. Yeah, I could see that. Gladiator is one of my favorite films. Page 6 also notes Washington has already garnered Oscar buzz for Best Supporting Actor. He said he did not feel any pressure taking on such a big project. He said, for me, it's about the filmmaker, especially at this point in my career. I'm only interested in working with the best. I don't know how many more films I'm going to make, although I guess the interview where he said he was going to retire, which, by the way, he said he was going to retire. Like, it's literally on video. Like, you can see the words coming out of his mouth where he says, I'm going to retire. And then when people started asking him, like during press runs after that interview, like, oh my God, you're going to retire. He's like, I never said I was going to retire. Sir, sir, it wouldn't have Rick James. Sir, I didn't put my feet on Eddie Murphy's couch. So I put my feet on Eddie Murphy's couch. I missed the Chappelle Show. We need it now more than ever. I can't wait for you to see this film. It's so good. I have so much more that I want to say about it, but I don't want to be the asshole that spoils it. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. This month is all about gratitude. And there's one person that we don't get to thank enough: ourselves. It's sometimes hard to remind ourselves that we are trying our best to make sense of everything. And in this crazy world, that isn't easy. Here's a reminder to send some thanks to the people in your life, including yourself. You know, I am a huge advocate of therapy. I think everyone should have some, especially the people that think you don't need it. And especially right now, we're dealing with so much. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapist anytime for no additional charge. I love how easy BetterHelp makes it to access professional counseling. Let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/ratchet today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/ratchet. Have you seen this challenge online? It's called the Breaking My Heart Challenge. And people are posting pictures of their parents from back in the day. And they're like, oh, my mom used to break hearts back in the day. So I wanted to make one of those. So I'm digging through this box of pictures and I'm like, is this really like the best way to organize the family photos in giant boxes in the basement? I found a solution from our friends at LegacyBox. You're going to love LegacyBox. Every day, your home movies and photos are slowly fading away. They fade away in closets or worse, break down because of the dampness of your garage or heat in your attic or wherever you're storing your photos. Well, right now, you can easily access those memories and protect them forever for 50% off with code RATCHET. Legacy Box is easy. Load Legacy Box with your old tapes, film, and pictures and send it back. You'll get it back on a thumb drive or cloud, ready to watch and easy to share. It's so simple. It's like magic. Our family photos, I'm talking about my baby pictures, all my parents' stuff, and my grandparents' stuff. They were all stored in boxes in the basement. The idea of something happening to all that history, oh my God. I'm so glad I found Legacy Box to keep my family's history safe. For a limited time only, you can visit legacybox.com/ratchet and save 50%. That's legacybox.com/ratchet to shop 50% off. This sale won't last long. Legacybox.com/ratchet. In other good Black news this week, the Grammys recently announced their nominations. I'm reading this on The Guardian. It says Beyoncé is out front with the nominations for the 67th Grammy Awards. The star has scored 11 nods for her country album, Cowboy Carter, with recognition in the country, pop, and Americana categories. I think this is very much worth noting that Beyoncé released a whole country album, at least her version of country, a whole country album. And the actual CMAs, the Country Music Award, gave her 0 nominations, not nary one, nothing. However, the Grammys, 11 nods. I read that this brings Beyonce's Grammy nominations to 99. She is both the most nominated artist in Grammy history with 99 Grammy nominations, and she's also the most awarded artist in Grammy history with 32 wins. The Guardian notes that despite being the most nominated, alongside her husband, no less, like she's number one and Jay-Z is number two. They also note that despite being the most nominated and most awarded artist in Grammy history, that Beyonce has still not won Album of the Year to date. She is nominated for it this year, though. This is on BBC. Beyonce passes Jay-Z in all-time Grammy nominations. Don't be trying to pit these married people up against each other. It notes that the couple had been tied on 88 nominations each, but Beyonce has now pulled ahead thanks to recognition for her latest album, Cowboy Carter. The BBC also doesn't have like the full list of what she's nominated for. It notes that she's up for Best Album, which we just spoke about, Best Country Album, despite not being nominated at all for the CMAs, which we just spoke about. I feel a way about that, clearly. And Song of the Year for Texas Hold'em. I love Cowboy Carter. It's one of my favorite albums. Texas Hold'em is by far not the best song on the album to me. I just went to another article on BBC. I'm trying to find out all that Beyonce has been nominated for. So Album of the Year. Do I care about the people she's up against? I guess it matters. Andre 3000 got nominated for Album of the Year for New Blue Sun, aka the Flu album. Really? I listened to it once because I love Andre and I wanted to support. I can't listen to it again. Sabrina Carpenter, she's popular. Charlie, I don't know how to pronounce Charlie's name. There's some letters. They look like Roman numerals. I don't know what that is. Brat. I remember people saying Kamala is Brat, and I was like, I don't really understand what that means. I'm old. Billie Eilish. I know who Billie Eilish is. Chappelle Roan. I think that's how you pronounce her name. And then also Taylor Swift. I hope Beyonce pulls through. I'm not that confident given this lineup. Billie Eilish is a juggernaut, Sabrina Carpenter and Taylor Swift, and I think Chappelle Roan. I'm not really sure who she is, but I know her name, even though I can't name a song. That's got to count for something. It ain't going to be Andre. I know that much. Record of the Year. Beyonce, Texas Hold'em. She's up against most of the same people, plus Kendrick Lamar for Not Like Us. Yo, Drake has got to be somewhere crying in the car. And then she's up for Song of the Year, again for Texas Hold'em. And then up against like most of the same people. Taylor Swift featuring Post Malone, Shabuzi, a bar song, Tipsy. I actually like that song. They play it a lot over here. Chappelle Roan again, Kendrick Lamar, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, Billie Eilish, and Sabrina Carpenter. That's a tough category. The best new artist, only black person. Oh, that's not true. I recognize Doechii. I recognize Shabuzi. There could be other black people on the list. I'm just not familiar with their names. Pop and dance. To my understanding, none of these people are black, so we're moving along. Best pop solo performance, Beyoncé for Bodyguard. I guess. She's up against all the same people we listed before. Best pop duo, Beyoncé featuring Post Malone for Levi's Jeans. Yeah. I don't skip it when I play it on my headphones, but not my favorite. Is there anything else on this list? This isn't the full list. I'm really just reading the categories that are featured on this BBC article. I don't think it's everything. Best rap performance. I know this ain't Beyonce, but like since we're here. Cardi B, Enough, Miami. I have no idea what song that is. And I like Cardi. I pay attention to Cardi. Common and Pete Rock. I have no idea what song that is. Doechii, Nissan Altima. I do know that. Eminem, Houdini. I know Eminem is, obviously. I don't know what Houdini is. I've never heard this. Future, Metro Boomin, and Kendrick Lamar. Like that. Sure, I would know it if I heard it. Glorilla. Yeah, Glow. I know Glow. Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us. The song is unavoidable. Best melodic rap performance. They get real specific, don't they? I don't even know who some of these people are. Beyonce's on here. Beyonce featuring Linda Martell and Shabuzi, Spaghetti. Still not my favorite. Future and Metro Boomin feature The Weeknd. Lotto, Rhapsody, featuring Erykah Badu. Okay, sure. Best rap song, Rhapsody. I'm glad she's getting nominated for Grammys. This is good. Kanye West, Ty Dolla $ign, Future, Metro Boomin, Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar again, same category. He's nominated twice under Best Rap Song for Not Like Us and Glorilla, Yeah, Glow. Good for Glow. I still ain't listened to that album. Davita listens to it 24/7, so I'm going to be forced to listen to it this weekend. We're supposed to go out to Franschhoek, back to wine country again. Watch her want to play it in the car. Just watch. Best rap album, J. Cole, Might Delete Later. Is that the album that he had like the Kendrick diss on and then like apologized? The smartest thing he's ever done. That's not me criticizing. That's just me clarifying. Common and Pete Rock, The Auditorium. Didn't know it existed. Doechii, Alligator Bites Never Heal. Probably should listen to that. Eminem, The Death of Slim Shady. I will never listen to that. Future and Metro Boomin, We Don't Trust You. Country. Best country solo performance, Beyonce, 16 Carriages. Jelly Roll, I know who that is. I Am Not Okay. Shabuzi, a bar song. I don't recognize the names of the other two people. I don't think they're black. Best country duo group performance, Beyonce is under there. Beyonce featuring Miley Cyrus, Two Most Wanted. Okay. I don't know the other people in this category. Best country song, Shabuzi, a bar song, Tipsy. Beyonce, Texas Hold'em. She's also nominated under Best Country Song. Best Country Album, Beyonce, Cowboy Carter. I don't know these other people. R&B and Afrobeats. Best R&B Performance, Jhené Aiko, Guidance, Chris Brown, Residuals, Coco Jones. I love her. I'll accept her music because I love her for me and Honeybee. Money Long, Made for Me, live on BET, SZA, Saturn. Best R&B Song, Kalani, After Hours, Can't Name It. Tim's, Burning. Okay, Coco Jones, Here We Go, Can't Name. Love Coco, have no idea what song that is. Money Long, Ruin Me, SZA, Saturn. Best Progressive R&B Album, Avery Sunshine. Duran Bernard, don't know. Should I know? Childish Gambino, Bando Stone in the New World. I think I saw a trailer at the BET Awards. I thought it was a film. I didn't know it was an actual album. Okay. I've been playing This Is America ever since, you know who won you know what? Kalani, Crash. I don't know how to pronounce this other thing. It's Anderson Paak and Knowledge, but the X is a O. So I guess the name of the group would be No Worries because the X is the O there too. Okay. Best R&B album, Chris Brown, 11:11, never listened to it. Layla Hathaway, never listened to it. Money Long, never listened to it. Lucky Day. Never listened to it. Should I listen to any of these? If you recommend them, I'll try to give them a listen, but I'm out the country. Usher, Coming Home. You know I listened to that. But I told y'all what I did with that Usher album because we reviewed it when it came out. It was like 20 something songs. And I was like, you really could have cut this in half. Like if he cut it in half and it made it like 10 to 12 songs, he could have had another Confession situation on his hands. Maybe not platinum, but like a solid album. It was just too many damn songs. He was trying to do like too much to too many genres. And I say this to somebody who loves Usher, who loves Usher. You know how I feel about Usher. When people were making fun of me, and I was like, oh, pretend to be me. People were like, Usher, Usher, Usher. But he really should have cut that album in half. I'm not rooting for any of these people. I want Beyonce to win Album of the Year just on the GP of it all. Best African Music Performance, Yemi Alade, Tomorrow, I'm not familiar. Asake and Wizkid, MMS. That's one of those songs I know it if I hear it, but like I have no idea what MMS is. Chris Brown featuring DeVito, Sensational. I love that song. Burna Boy, Higher, Tim's, Love Me. Okay. The rest of it is production and songwriting. Producer of the Year, non-classical. Only one I recognize is Mustard on the Beats. Songwriter of the Year, don't recognize any of these people. One of them could be black. I'm just telling you the black people that I recognize. I'm not saying there's no black people. I'm just saying I don't only recognize, certain names. Film and TV, best comedy album. Dave Chappelle. There's some other people, Trevor Noah. I like Trevor Noah when he's like commentating on things. I like him on his podcast. I can't watch Trevor Noah stand up. I just don't think he's funny. But I could listen to him like pontificate about like culture forever. Best compilation soundtrack for visual media. The Color Purple. I told you I'm like the only person in my friend group that loves The Color Purple. I mean, the new one. My friends hate that I love that movie. Like, hate. They're like, really? A whole musical about sexual abuse? Like, why are people singing about sexual abuse? I was like, sometimes people sing when they can't say. That's like how they get their feelings out, And they're like, no. Best music video, ASAP. Taylor Swift. No idea what that is. Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us. Eminem, Houdini. This Charlie person who I don't know how to pronounce the second part of their name, 360. And then Taylor Swift featuring Post Malone, Fortnite. I have nothing invested in any of these. Best music film. The only one I recognize on here is The Greatest Night in Pop. That's the Netflix film that was about We Are the World, right? Right? I think that's what it is. Okay. Best jazz instrumental. I recognize Chick Corea's name. I don't recognize nobody else. Oh, Lakeisha Benjamin. I could tell by the way she spells her name. Likecia. She's black. Ambrose, I can't pronounce the last name, but it looks Nigerian. I'm gonna look up and see if they're black. If it's still left in the podcast, they're definitely black. Best jazz instrumental, do you care? Best alternative jazz album. Andre 3000. He really got 2 Grammy nods off that Flute album. Also nominated Robert Glasper, Michelle Ndegeocello. No More Water, The Gospel of James Baldwin. I have never heard of this. I will immediately go listen to this. I've been a Michelle Ndegeocello fan. Cause see, I can pronounce her name since I was in high school. Best musical theater. Hell's Kitchen. That's the Alicia Keys one, right? I think so. Merrily We Roll Along. Never heard of it. The Notebook. Have heard of it. The Outsiders. I don't know if I've heard of it. Stuff's not sure. The Wiz. I only know because I told you I'm not really a big fan of The Wiz. I've never seen it through to the end. I've said this before, and people are like, oh my God, you've got to watch The Wiz. My mama don't like it either. That's why I never watched it as a kid. I can't get through it. I've tried multiple times. Erykah Badu sings the Lena Horne song from The Wiz at the end of her show. She's been doing it for years. And over the summer, I saw Erykah Badu and I posted her singing like the entire song because I really love it. And someone said, they were like, oh, you got to watch The Wiz because, like the Lena Horne version is so much better. And so I went and pulled it up on YouTube and I was like, well, let me watch the Lena Horne version because I don't think I've ever made it that far in the movie. I'm not going to diss it because I know how many people love The Wiz and it's something you hold near and dear to your hearts. And I don't want to like offend your taste or anything like that. I personally did not enjoy it. I'm not saying there's something wrong if you did enjoy it. I'm just saying I did not enjoy it and will not be listening to it again. Much respect for Lena Horne, and she rests in peace. Best opera recording, don't care. Best orchestral performance, don't care. Okay, that's the end of the list. All right, Grammys. The Grammys air February. I will be in the country. I don't know if I'll actually be in LA. I would like to be in LA again for award season because I was out there last year and that was a good, fun time. If it's around the same time as Leading Women Defined, then I'll be out in LA. But invites to the Grammys and the Oscars are hard to come by. Getting an invite to the parties, much simpler. We'll try though.
This episode is brought to you by Etsy.
Oh.
Hear that?
Okay. Thank you.
Etsy knows these aren't the sounds of holiday gifting. Well, not the ones you're hoping for. You want squeals of delight. Happy tears.
How did you?
And spontaneously written songs of joy.
I am so happy. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, the song needs a bit of work, but anyway, to get those reactions, make sure everyone on your list feels heard with handmade, handpicked, and designed gifts from small shops on Etsy. Gifts like personalized jewelry, custom artwork, cozy style items, vintage pieces, and home decor to celebrate all of your favorite people and their specific kind of special. For original gifts that say, I get you, Etsy has it.
PSA for anyone who rents. If you haven't heard of Built, you're about to thank me. Earning points on rent is now a reality when you pay your rent through Built. You don't even have to check with your landlord to start earning points that you can use toward flights, hotel stays, fitness classes, and even your next rent payment. Let me break it down for you. There's no cost to join Built, and as a member, you'll earn valuable points on rent and on your everyday spending. Built points can be transferred to your favorite hotels and airlines, and even the ones you haven't heard of. There are over 500 airlines and 700,000 hotels and properties around the world that you can redeem your Built points toward. Points can also be redeemed towards a future rent payment and unique experiences that only Built members can access. So if you're not earning points on rent, my question is, why not? I love Built for making my travel life so much easier. Start earning points on rent you're already paying by going to joinbuilt.com/ratchet. That's JOINBILT.com/ratchet. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. Joinbuilt.com/ratchet to start earning points on your rent payments today. People magazine has named its 2024 Sexiest Man Alive. I didn't recognize his face. I was like, Harpo, who this man? John Krasinski? He was on the hit series The Office. I've never watched an episode. He co-wrote, directed, and starred alongside his wife in the 2018 thriller A Quiet Place. Okay. He was in Michael Bay's 13 Hours. I'm reading this on People. He's like, he played Jack Ryan for 4 seasons. I swear I watched at least one season of Jack Ryan. I do not know this man's face. It says with this year's movie If, which he also starred in, wrote, produced, and directed, he solidified his status as one of Hollywood's top filmmakers. He seems to be a very accomplished young man. He's 45. He keeps a job. We like that in a man. Gainfully employed is a good trait in a man. But I was like, the sexiest man alive. He's not hard on the eye. It's just like when you say things like sexiest man alive, I'm like, did Idris Elba die? I mean, he's been people's sexiest man alive. I don't think they do the same person twice. Damson Idris, alive. Sierra's Russell. That's what my mom calls Russell. My mom loves him. Like, she loves Russell like she loves Michael Ealy. And that's saying something. Me and my mama both have a huge crush on Michael Ealy. She just thinks he's just everything. And now Russell too. And I was like, I like Russell. I like what Russell stands for. I like Russell's traits. By all means, Russell was a nice looking man. He just doesn't like do it for me. Like just looking at him, I'm like, oh, he's a cute guy. But Russell Wilson is alive. I'm like, Russell Wilson wasn't an option. He's a good family man. upstanding morals, values, ethics. We don't hear about him in no drama, no trouble. Let's keep it that way. No Russell Wilson. Method Man. Method Man is still alive. And my newest crush, I'm so late to the game. Tahiri, I'm butchering his name. Let me go look it up real quick because I was on his page earlier today. He's a former soccer player. I think he's a coach now. But he used to play for Arsenal. I'm really not into sports all like that. You know that. But let me pronounce his name properly because he's fine. I feel like if I can get Michelle and Dege Ocello, I should be able to get this one. Hold on real quick. Sahari Henry. He's Frenchy black. Fine. Not what you would think of as my usual type, but he got energy. He's also on the cover of GQ right now. It was announced earlier today, like it's brand new. But he's man of the year for French GQ. Fine ass. And wears the hell out of a suit. And got pretty teeth. She has good tats. Because sometimes I be looking at people's tattoos and I'm just like, did you get these in jail? No. His tats are really well done. It's a good looking man. Where is his place of origin? I mean, yes, I know he's like French from France, but I'm like, where his grandma come from? Where his people them from? I guess I could just Google this. His daddy is from Guadeloupe and his mommy is from Martinique. I knew he was Frenchy black. I thought he was Frenchy black direct from Africa. He's Frenchy black from the Caribbean and then Africa before that. Okay. Cute ass. I'm looking at old pictures of him. He paid good money for his current teeth. I'm not mad at it. I paid good money for my current teeth. I just got braces. I think he might have just got braces too. Like he doesn't have like those big like chiclet types. Or he just got like properly sized veneers. Which for some reason seemed really hard to come by in celebrity world. Oh dear. And not so good black news this week. This is a problem. Cousin Day Damian Williams, the U.S. Attorney for Southern District of New York, a.k.a. the black dude who's prosecuting Sean Combs and New York Mayor Eric Williams, he's out. Damn. Trump said Thursday he wants to oust Damian Williams. I'm reading this on Daily Mail. I tried to read this on Daily News. I wanted to read it from a New York paper because they usually would have more details. But I have my VPN on, and for whatever reason, I can't get on like the New York papers right now. Trump says he wants to replace Day with Jay Clayton, his former chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission. Daily Mail notes that William was nominated in 2021 by President Joe Biden, making him the first Black American to lead the prosecutor's office and the youngest at age 41. I'm scrolling. They have a real good, nice, respectable looking photo of Day. The $1 million question, which no one seems to have an answer to at this time, if Day is let go and a new boy takes over, what happens to the cases against Diddy and the mayor? Is the office going to drop those cases? Is Diddy going free? Is the mayor going free? It's unthinkable. Trump about to fuck up the trial of the century. This is all bad. All bad. These Trump picks are killing me. I saw the Secretary of Defense, the guy he named as a commentator on Fox News. He has actually served in the armed forces, but like the current person is a black dude who's a 4-star general versus a 2-time platoon leader. It makes me feel better that he has had some service as opposed to just being a Fox News commentator. And still, I'm like, so like anybody who served can just be the Secretary of Defense? Is that where we are? Apparently. The one that really pushed me over the edge, though, I mean, is it Robert Kennedy Jr.? They want to put over health. He doesn't believe in vaccines and thought COVID was a conspiracy to attack white people. I'm thinking of the right guy, right? And then Matt Gaetz, who we talked about him extensively. Remember he had that little black boy living in his house? And he was like, oh, it's my ex-girlfriend's younger brother and he lives with me. Why your ex-girlfriend's younger brother don't live with her? Why he live with you? It was never really clear on like why that black boy was in his house. We never really did get to the bottom of that. Apparently, the House of Representatives, there had been an ethics investigation into Matt for the last 2 years, and they were supposed to release the results of the investigation as of today. But then Matt stepped down because he's being appointed by Trump to, was he Attorney General? I mean, Trump has been found liable for sexual abuse, sexual assault, E. Jean Carroll. So it's not surprising that, someone having multiple allegations of sexual assault, sexual abuse, sex trafficking, involvement with minors, it makes sense that Trump would not be turned off or deterred by someone like that. But I was like, have you ever seen this man speak? Like, he's a natural born idiot. And like, this is who you want to make attorney general? I have to move on. I can't get bogged down in that. Like, I get so upset talking about American politics. I was at the mall today, and there was this really old man, old white man. He's being pushed in a wheelchair. He had to be 90 something. Like, he looked like he was on his last legs. And he had on like a Trump hat. And I was like, bro, you're on the other side of the world, all the way from America to get pushed around the mall in your last days of life in a Trump hat. Like, you got like one summer left, if that. And you want to spend it being a bigot. Walking around Africa, all these goddamn black people. I mean, it's Cape Town. It really ain't that many, but it's still a predominantly black nation. Even if like the city ain't predominantly black. Really? That's what you chose to put on? Speaking of people with not a lot of summers left, Mayor Rudy Giuliani, apparently he ain't got no monies whatsoever. He had that judgment against him. He was found liable. Oh, this just came up on the Washington Post 6 minutes ago. Please tell me my VPN is going through. Please tell me my VPN is going through. Yes, Lord. Here we go. It says Rudy Giuliani, this is the headline, has turned over his luxury watches in defamation case, according to his representative. It says Rudy has turned over his cherished watches ahead of a deadline to turn over his assets to two former Georgia election workers who won a $148 million defamation judgment against him. Now, the last thing I read is that he had to turn over his whole house to the Georgia election workers. The mother and the daughter, the black ladies, yeah, they're going to get their $148 million one way or another. So a judge last week ordered Giuliani to hand over, still reading on the Washington Post, quote, a trove of prized possessions, including a 1980 Mercedes once owned by movie star Lauren Bacall, and more than 24 watches after missing an October 29 deadline. Oh, dear. On Thursday evening, Giuliani's spokesperson posted a video. He posted a video from a FedEx store in Florida where he showed at least 18 watches and a ring laid out on a table that he said were being turned over. And he said, quote, this right here, folks, this is the accumulation of 60 years of hard work. He says many of these watches hold great sentimental value, and he's being forced to turn all these over under court order. Well, you shouldn't have defamed the ladies. You did this to you, sir. You didn't have to go accuse the ladies of doing things that they did not do. His representative said this is a man who demonstrated courage by running towards the flames, and now he's being forced to turn all this over under court order, and it's an absolute bastardization of our justice system. He says, I have to document this. What's happening is wrong. It's shameful, and we must restore the integrity of the U.S. justice system. Sir, it was wrong and shameful and lacking in integrity when he accused the black ladies of doing some shit they didn't do. Giuliani in court last week, when he was ordered again to turn over his assets, Manhattan federal court. Oh, shit. It's a federal court. Trump gonna figure out a way to overturn that shit and give Rudy his shit back. Maybe. I don't really think he fuck with Rudy like that. But it's a federal court. Yeah, if he appeals this and he gets the right judge under Trump, he probably gonna get his shit back. They need to sell that shit and move out the country quick. They got till January 20th. Get your shit, black ladies. Get your shit. Rudy says that he's a victim of, quote, a political vendetta. He expects to win on appeal and get everything back. He says this is a case of political persecution. There isn't a person who doesn't know the judgment is ridiculous. It says in addition to 26 watches and his 1980 Mercedes-Benz SL 500, the surrendered possessions include Giuliani's $5 million Upper East Side apartment. Damn, and a shirt. A shirt signed by New York Yankees legend Joe DiMaggio. The Washington Post notes, says Giuliani was found liable for defamation for falsely accusing Freeman and Moss, the two black ladies, mother and daughter, of ballot fraud as he pushed Trump's unsubstantiated election fraud allegations during the 2020 campaign. The women said they faced death threats after Giuliani accused them of sneaking in ballots in suitcases, counting ballots multiple times, and tampering with voting machines. Like I said, you did this to you. You went out there and put yourself on the line for Trump. I haven't seen Trump mention Giuliani in a month of Sundays. Does he still give a fuck about him? Is Giuliani getting a cabinet appointment? He was online last week saying he couldn't even buy food. He said the feds gaffled his checking account. He had no monies, none. Oh, I'm reading this on CNN. It said Giuliani's lawyers are trying to quit his debt enforcement case. The lawyers told a judge, according to the filings, they must end their representation because of ethics rules that protect lawyers from working for clients with whom they have, quote, a fundamental disagreement, who are uncooperative, or if they are asked to contradict the law. One of the watches he had to give up was a gift from his grandfather. So sad, so sad. Thoughts and prayers. It says at the hearing, Giuliani repeatedly whispered directions to his lawyers, occasionally contradicting him, and the judge called some of their statements in court farcical and ridiculous. Oh dear. The judge, Louis Lehman, has repeatedly warned that Giuliani and those helping him could face contempt sanctions if they don't follow the court's orders. Also on Wednesday, the Black ladies, Moss and Freeman, their attorneys allege in court filings that a close contact of Giuliani owes nearly 100,000 USD to a moving and storage company on Long Island. The attorneys have struggled in recent weeks to get access to Giuliani's possessions in that storage facility, many of which were taken out of his Manhattan apartment in recent weeks and which the election workers are entitled to by court order. They taking the man's furniture? I mean, fuck him. I don't care. But really, they taking the furniture too? I don't feel no kind of ways, none whatsoever. He did this to himself. You did this to you.
This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
Still reading on CNN because we just talked about this. They're talking about the ethics committee. The Speaker of the House is trying to convince the ethics committee not to release the Matt Gaetz report. You got to be fucking kidding me. Somebody got to take the L and release it. But the Speaker of the House said he's going to speak with the panel's chairman. Oh, God. He's a Republican. Is there anything else major that we need to discuss? Well, not really. It didn't come out yet, and I don't have early access to it. Shine, like Diddy Shine. He has a documentary coming out on Hulu, The Honorable Shine, that talks about, his life, including that 1999 shooting where he was at the nightclub with Diddy that landed him in jail for a decade. Moses Shine Barrow. I cannot remember his first name for anything. I remember the Barrow. He's been doing the talk show rounds. I saw that he had a segment on Tamron Hall. I'm going to hold that discussion until the documentary comes out. I think it comes out on November 18th. I don't know if we'll be able to talk about it Tuesday because I'm going to gallivant all day on Monday with Davita. But maybe by Friday's episode, that'll give both of us a chance to watch it so we can discuss it without tiptoeing around it. Fair? All right. That's the episode for today. I'll be back on Tuesday. All right. Have a great weekend. Talk soon. Bye.
Black Friday is coming, and for the adults in your life who love the coolest toys, well, there's something for them this year too. Bartesian is the premier craft cocktail maker that automatically makes more than 60 seasonal and classic cocktails, each in under 30 seconds at the push of a button. And right now, Bartesian is having a huge site-wide sale. You can get $100 off any cocktail maker or cocktail maker bundle when you spend $400 or more. So, if the cocktail lover in your life has been good this year, or the right kind of bad, get them Bartesian. At the push of a button, make bar-quality cosmopolitans, martinis, Manhattans, and more. All in just 30 seconds. All for $100 off. Amazing toys aren't just for kids. Get $100 off a cocktail maker when you spend $400 through Cyber Monday. Visit Bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.